Hey, what's up and how's it going, everyone? Well, I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I'm your co-host Mike McRock Wilson, and this is a special installment on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. It's another WWE DVD review, and for this video you will see a review of this. The top 50 WWE finishing maneuvers in WWE history. And before I get to this, the DVD review, I'm going to show you, the inside of this as well. You got the front, here's the back, and inside you got an RKO and a stunner. And something tells me that they've done that on purpose, Viper, Rattlesnake, that's probably why. And here are the discs. The first disc is the list itself, this one. And the other two discs have WWE matches. I haven't really watched any of these. For some strange reason, I only like picking these up just to see the list. I really enjoy lists. There's just something about lists that I love. I like to see, okay, what's coming up next? Am I going to agree with this or disagree with this? That's why I just love lists. There's just so many things you can talk about. And this is one of those things, because on this list are finishing maneuvers that I do agree with the placings, and some I don't disagree as well. For instance, the 450 splash, Flash Funk, I don't know how Flash Funk even made it on this list. Even Hockey Talk Man as well. I thought that's a little weird. Other things I like to mention is that there is the 5-star Frog Splash from Rob Van Dam. That's on there. As well as Eddie Guerrero's Frog Splash. And they actually put Eddie Guerrero's higher than RVD's. And I think the reason being, it's because Eddie Guerrero, he passed away a few years ago. So they're probably showing a little bit of favoritism, for Eddie. And with Rob Van Dam, he's been out for quite some time, and now he's back. So I think that might be the reason why they put, the two of them where they are. And I like how, you have these two finishing maneuvers, the Frog Splash and the 5-star Frog Splash. And Eddie Guerrero's Frog Splash, is just straight down. And where RVD's, he has great height in his Frog Splash. And I like that they put the same move in this list. However, there's something I do not agree on this countdown, is the Diamond Cutter DDP is lower than Randy Orton's RKO. I am just figuratively boiling with frustration, and I was watching this thinking, how in the world did Randy Orton's RKO get over the Diamond Cutter? And more importantly, how did the RKO get as far as number 11, where the Diamond Cutter's the DDP Diamond Cutter only get at number 41? So I don't understand the logic, because yes, Randy Orton's RKO looks cool, it's neat, it's pretty, but when DDP applies his Diamond Cutter, he has much more effect in his move, and it just makes the RKO look horrible. And so I don't understand how the RKO went all the way up at number 11, and DDP's Diamond Cutter was a lot lower than that. I really don't understand it. However, I do like, some of the moves, even the old school moves that are in here as well, like the crossface chicken wing Bob Backlund's move is on here, as well as guys like Yokozuna, Bonsai Drop. I figured that move would be a little higher because Yokozuna is just a huge guy, and when he just drops on you, it feels like you get the wind knocked right out of you. And so, in that sense, the move has much more effect than some of the other moves, like the Pedigree. And that's another thing I don't agree with, is how the Pedigree of all moves, get at number 3, where moves like Sweet Chin Music have way more effect than the Pedigree, and that got at number 7 on the list. No, not number 7. It was at number 6. At number 7 was Hulk Hogan's leg drop. I understand that because it generates a pop from the crowd. It's Hulk Hogan's, finishing maneuver to finish off a match. I get it. But for the Pedigree to go over Sweet Chin Music, I don't understand the logic in that sense. Because the Sweet Chin Music has way more effect, and there's other moves that have way more effect as well. The Jackhammer, the Tombstone. Well, that was actually higher. But even something simple as the Bear Hug has way more effect than the Pedigree because you're actually squishing the guy in half. And so, with that being said, I like, and again, it's one of those things where you see the old school guys come in. Bruno Sammartino's Bear Hug coming in at number 16. And then you have Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Clutch right after. And also as well, I like how the variety of finishing maneuvers are placed as well. Even though I would tweak a lot of these finishing maneuvers, I like that there is a variety of moves on here. There's power bombs, there's moves off the top rope, there's grappling maneuvers, there's submissions, and so you see a little bit of everything on this list. So that is one thing I actually do enjoy while I was watching this DVD. But the only thing I really don't like is that how some of these moves got over other ones. For instance, the attitude adjustment goes over the Kurt Angle's ankle lock, because when Kurt Angle applies the ankle lock, it really looks like he's actually going to break your ankle in half. And John Cena's move, the modified fireman's carry, it's just nothing more than that. There's just nothing to it. So some of these moves, like I said, have a lot more effect than others that should be higher in the list. I think the top 10, should consist of not only the moves have a lot more effect, but also moves that generate, the biggest pop from the crowd. And with that being said, I like number 1 because Stone Cold Steve Austin's Stunner, really, when I come to think about it, that is the one move I think that really generates the most pop from the crowd when he hits the Stunner on anyone, even when he applied the Stunner on Vince McMahon the first time around. It was the Stunner heard around the world, and the fans just went up and gone bananas, as the Gorilla Monsoon would say. And so, for that reason, I like that the Stunner is number 1 because it generates a huge bust, a huge fan reaction from the crowd, like I said. And come to think of it, The Rock's Rock Bottom and People's Elbow is actually a close second as well. And with that being said, number 4 on this list is The Rock Bottom and People's Elbow. Another issue I have with this countdown. For one thing, the Rock Bottom is just a simple Uranagi, and the People's Elbow is just a glorified elbow drop, so these moves are 2 completely different finishing maneuvers. So I don't understand the logic of those 2 moves by selves are in one spot, number 4. They could have just said, okay, And now, on this list, tied at number 4 are The Rock, People's Elbow, and Rock Bottom, because they're two different finishing maneuvers. Makes sense. Instead, what they do is have number 4, The Rock, Rock Bottom, People's Elbow, considering that to be one move, when in reality, they are two different finishing maneuvers. That don't make sense. So, yeah, that's another thing I don't agree with. And, there are also other moves that are on here that I like as well. You got Macho Man's Flying Elbow Drop. I think that could have been a little bit higher. You have Edge's Spear. That generates a good pop. I think that should have been higher as well. Even Lita's Lita Salt as well. I think that could have been higher. And also as well, I think, having a tag team finishing maneuver would be rare, because each finishing maneuver on here is usually about individuals. And not only you see the Dudley Boys 3D on this countdown, you also see the Legion of Doom. They're a Doomsday device as well. So I like that they actually placed two of the very best teams within the tag team division of all time on this list for that reason. The Dudley Boys and the Legion of Doom, hands down. Even Bully Ray said in an interview that the greatest tag team, the be-all, end-all, was LOD, so it makes sense that the Doomsday device would be on this list from LOD. And moves like the Manhandleable Claw, Mankind, all he's doing is just shoving a sock down your throat. It's really no effect. I'm not sure how that made the list as well. However, this is another good DVD to watch just for the sake of entertainment. But it's another one of those lists where you can't help but just pick apart. So, you rather watch it or you rather not. Watch it at your own risk, but it is another DVD that I would actually recommend. And that was my review of the top 50 finishing maneuvers of all time. For the MRB Wrestling Review Show, I am Mike McRock Wilson. Get plenty of rest and always do your best. Alright, so before I go, I would like to mention that CM Punk's finishing maneuver, the Go to Sleep, is also on this list. And when they interviewed CM Punk on this DVD, I like how he said, "I'm on this list, my GTS is on here, I must be up there with the Stunner, right?" Of course! Oh, the guy is so funny, genius. The little things.